Today's lesson is called Around the World in 80 Apologies. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
My name is Roger. And today we're going to talk about apologizing. Right now, I don't have anything to apologize for, but I'm sure as our program continues, there are probably going to be some words that I don't explain perfectly. So at that point, I will need to apologize profusely.
I've got something to apologize for.
What is it?
During our Plus Talk dialogue, I interrupted you.
You did,
I was trying to explain the word interruption, and I thought, I'll interrupt Roger, and you know what? Everyone will think that's great, and we'll have a really good example of what an interruption is. But you know what? I still feel guilty about it. I'm so sorry. I need to apologize. Can you ever forgive me there, Roger?
No, apology is necessary because we were trying to explain the word there. But yeah, I did feel kind of confused there for a second. But, you know, the interruption was necessary in order to explain the word. But, you know, there are times when in our lives we do things that might upset other people. And we don't mean to. It's probably an accident or something. But still, you need to clear the air and say you're sorry. You need to apologize so you can move on with your lives.
There you go. And I said it. I said I'm sorry. I meant that from the bottom of my heart. That was a sincere apology. I'm so sorry. Yes, you say sorry. When you say sorry, you are apologizing, or you are offering or giving someone an apology. And apparently, giving apologies, saying sorry, how you do this varies from place to place and culture to culture. So sometimes just saying I'm sorry or I apologize, sometimes that won't be enough. Anyways, let's go ahead and start reading our article on apologies around the world. The name of our article is Around the World in 80 Apologies. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a break, but when we come back, we'll start our lesson.
Around the World in 80 Apologies. Apologizing for something you did wrong is an important part of maintaining good social relationships. However, the kind of apology that may be expected in one country might be frowned upon in another.
大家好，标题中我们看到单字 apology， 这个字是名词，指道歉、致歉。例如 I owe you an apology. What I said to you before was rude and unfair. 我欠你一个道歉，我之前对你说的话无理又不公平。另外补充这个字的动词 apologize, A-P-O-L-O-G-I-Z-E, apologize. 我们可以说Mark apologized to his sister for ruining her homework. Mark 因为弄坏了妹妹的作业向她道歉。再来我们看到一个片语 frown on or upon something, 表示不赞成不允许像是The teacher frowns on waiting until the last minute to do homework. 老师不赞同等到最后一刻才做作业。另外补充一个同义的片语 disapprove of, 可以说I disapprove of the way this company does business. 我不赞成这间公司做生意的方法。
All right, so again, the subject for today's lesson is apologies. That's the noun. That's when you say you're sorry. It's an apology. I accept your apology. Thank you for saying you're sorry. And then the verb is to apologize. Yes, I'd like to apologize for my behavior on Saturday night. I was drunk. I was unruly. I said a lot of stupid things. I'd like to apologize. Please forgive me. But also, we should explain the title here because it's rather unusual. Around the World in 80 Apologies. Why the heck do we need 80 apologies?
I think that they're making kind of a play on words here in the title. I believe there was a book or a story called Around the World in 80 Days. So here they're saying Around the World in 80 apologies. So apparently, if you go around the world and explore the ways that people say sorry, you might just get a good idea of how rich the cultures of the world are, how rich these cultures are. So it would be kind of like taking a trip around the world. All you have to do is study the way that people say sorry around the world, and yes, you'll get a great introduction to the cultures of our wonderful planet. Anyways, that's enough talk for us for now. Let's start reading. Apologizing for something you did wrong is an important part of maintaining good social relationships. Yes, if you do something wrong and you hurt someone's feelings or anything like that at all, you're going to need to say you're sorry, okay? Otherwise, that person might never forgive you, but they might never like you ever again. They might think that you're kind of a mean person. First of all, you hurt them and then you didn't say you're sorry. What kind of friend are you? So if you want to keep your social relationships in good standing, okay, you're going to need to apologize from time to time. Yes, if you want to maintain good social relationships, if you want to keep your friendships intact, you're going to have to say sorry from time to time.
Yep, and it's very difficult to get through life without offending someone from time to time, even if you don't mean it. So, of course, in order to clear the air and to keep on living and to keep on being friends with people, you do need to get used to apologizing. It's part of life. You're going to have to say you're sorry at one time or another. However, the kind of apology that may be expected in one country might be frowned upon in another. So this is important to know. Of course, you're not only learning English to pass a test here in Taiwan and get into a good university or something like that, but it's also going to be useful for you when you travel to other countries in the world or when you study abroad and you have contact with other foreigners, and you need to know the different ways in which we apologize to people from different places.
There you go. It says here as well that sure, apologizing is the right thing to do, but okay, one type of apology that's totally okay in one country might be frowned upon in another. Yeah, if something is frowned upon, it's discouraged, okay? It's considered inappropriate. Like in Japan, okay, slurping your noodles while eating at a restaurant, that is encouraged. Go for it. That doesn't bother anyone. It might even be complimentary, a complimentary gesture to the people who have cooked your food. That being said, in Europe and in North America, slurping your noodles at a restaurant is frowned upon. No one's going to come up and say, hey, stop that right now. But you might get some dirty looks. People might be frowning, and they might be making it clear that they don't like the sound that you are making because slurping is frowned upon. It's discouraged. People just don't do it.
So yeah, we should know the differences here. An apology that might work in your country may not work so well in another country. Let's find out what this is all about by moving on to the next paragraph. We'll listen first.
In many countries, for example, it is important that your apology happen face-to-face. Apologizing by email or a messaging app will be considered both lazy and rude. In Argentina, it's even expected that you take the recipient of your apology out for a meal so that you both have plenty of time to talk about the situation. However, with digital means of communicating now common, many cultures are becoming less strict about needing to apologize in person. In the United States, though an in-person apology is better, a digital apology is no longer as scorned as it once was.
第二部分我们看到单字 recipient 这个字是名词，指接受者、领受人。举例来说 The recipient of the letter was unsure who the sender was. 这封信的收件者不确定寄件者是谁。再来我们看到一个动词 scorn 有不屑接受、摒弃、鄙视的意思。例如 Linda was blamed for scorning others' help. Linda 因为不屑接受他人的帮忙而受到指责。另外这个字除了当动词还可以做名词，指轻蔑、藐视。我们可以说 I look at people who throw trash in the street with scorn. 我会用轻蔑的眼神来看随意在街上乱丢垃圾的人。
Okay, folks, the name of our article is Around the World in 80 Apologies. So we're not taking a trip around the world in 80 days, but if we do, okay, investigate how to apologize the world over, we might just get a trip around the globe culture-wise. Anyways, let's start in Argentina. Okay, in many countries, for example, it is important that your apology happen face-to-face. Apologizing by email or a messaging app will be considered both lazy and rude. And that brings us to Argentina. But first of all, yes, I totally agree with this, okay? You have to apologize to someone face-to-face. I mean, failing that, let's say it's impossible, they've got to at least hear your voice, maybe on a phone call or maybe over Skype or FaceTime or something like that, okay? Using an email, though, to apologize, or a messaging app, or a Post-it note, these are far too impersonal. Yeah, there's no way that you can be truly sincere when you're apologizing if you're using a messaging app like Line or email or a Post-it note or something like that.
Well, what if the thing that you did to the person was actually in a messaging app itself? So wouldn't it be appropriate to apologize with the messaging app as well?
You know what? That's something that I will think about in depth after our show is over. But the first thing I think is, how bad? What bad thing can you do on a messaging app that you would have to apologize in the first place?
Well, you might send them the wrong sticker or something that they misunderstood and they took as an insult or something. So, yeah, at that point, you probably should apologize.
There you go. You can send an apologetic sticker back because the transgression wasn't all that bad, so you don't really need a super sincere apology.
Right. But again, we're talking about real-life situations, not online. So, yes, indeed, if you say something about someone behind their back and they don't like it and they take offense to that and you didn't really mean to hurt them, then you are going to have to apologize face-to-face. Yeah, it's kind of crass. It's kind of low class to apologize with an email or a line message or something like that. That's considered lazy and rude, and the person is probably not going to forgive you for the rest of their life.
Which again brings us to Argentina, where they really believe this. Yeah, no apologizing by email or messaging app. No, no, no. You've got to do it face-to-face. You've got to be physically present when you deliver your apology. Yes, in Argentina, it's even expected that you take the recipient of your apology out for a meal so that you both have plenty of time to talk about the situation. So it's not enough for you to show up and say, I'm sorry, face-to-face. You have to take that person out and make sure that you've got plenty of time to talk face-to-face about what happened and what you're apologizing for. By the way, it says here, the recipient of your apology. The recipient of something is a person who is receiving or getting something.
Right, so if you're in Argentina and in the office you said something mean about Maria and she was offended by that, so you could say, hey, Maria, I'm sorry, I apologize, and in order to show my sincerity, let me take you out for dinner. We'll go have a nice steak and some wine, and then we can talk about exactly why I said that stupid thing about you behind your back, and hopefully you'll realize that I didn't mean anything by it. It was just taken out of context, and we can continue to be good friends and good co-workers.
There you go. You and Maria. You got to patch things up there, pal. Anyways, okay. However, with digital means of communicating now common, many cultures are becoming less strict about needing to apologize in person. So they're very strict about the face-to-face thing in Argentina, but that's not really the case the world over. Yes, many cultures, it says, are becoming less strict about the need to apologize in person, i.e., people are more open to different forms of apologies, even if these apologies come by way of a messaging app or email or something like that. Now, here we've got two vocabulary words to talk about. The first of these is the word digital. When people are describing things as being digital, we're saying that they're related to computers and computer-like pieces of technology.
So, yeah, we spend so much time on our devices, on our smartphones, and our other devices that, it's kind of weird maybe even to apologize face-to-face. People might even take offense at being apologized face-to-face when we spend about, 60-70% of our time during the day staring at a screen. So communicating, of course, is exchanging information with other people.
Yeah, sometimes I have a hard time communicating with my daughter. Yes, she has learned enough speech that she can say simple things, but when she's trying to express something more complicated, when she's trying to communicate a complicated thought, sometimes she has a hard time doing so. I have a hard time understanding her. Anyways, in the United States, our article continues, though an in-person apology is better, a digital apology is no longer as scorned as it once was. So in Argentina, it would be unthinkable to apologize through digital means. Now, in the United States, though, people still prefer the in-person apology, but digital apologies are no longer scorned or looked down upon with great distaste.
It's no longer scorned as it once was. Maybe if you receive an apology via a text message, you might think, well, it would have been better to have this apology in person, but this is good enough. After all, we're so busy in our lives, and we just don't have time to get together and have that steak dinner at a restaurant. Okay, that's fine. That's good enough. Let's live and let live.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, right? There you go.
Yep.
All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be wrapping up this part of our lesson right after this.
Another important thing to think about is how many times you should apologize. In countries where directness is welcomed, such as France and Sweden, a quick sorry plus a short, honest explanation is enough. In Britain, however, where people apologize for the most trivial of things, a real apology requires many repetitions, often with several emphatic adjectives to show how much you mean it.
第三部分，我们看到一个单字 directness， 这个字是名词，指坦率、率直。举例来说 ，The company won many customers' hearts with their directness。这间公司以他们坦率赢得许多客户的心。另外，去除这个字字尾的 ness， 可以成为它的形容词 direct， 指直接的。我们可以说 Frida's direct attitude sometimes offends others by accident. Frida 直接的个性时常不经意冒犯到别人。接下来我们看到形容词 trivial， 用来指琐碎的，像是We should focus on the big picture instead of getting distracted by trivial details. 我们需要专注于大目标，而不要被琐碎的细节影响。另外，这个字除了上面的意思，还可以指微不足道的。我们可以说 The new trade deal may seem trivial, but it will provide thousands of jobs. 这项新的贸易协定也许看起来微不足道，但它会创造数千个工作机会。最后我们看到一个单字 repetition， 这个字是名词，指重复、反复发生。例如 Through constant repetition, Carla memorized the entire poem. 透过不断反复练习， Carla 背下了那一整首诗。
Okay, so again, we're talking about apologies or apologizing in today's lesson. And we did mention the fact that different places in the world have different ways of apologizing. Well, another important thing to think about is how many times you should apologize. Now, in my mind, it seems like one time should be enough, especially if you're sincere enough and you really mean it. You're not just saying it just to shut them up so you can keep on working or something. No, it's got to be sincere, but I think maybe once is enough.
So there you have it. Sometimes you got to think about the number, how many times you should apologize. Now, in countries where directness is welcomed, such as France and Sweden, a quick sorry plus a short, honest explanation is enough. Okay, by the way, directness, that means you say what you mean. You don't use unnecessary language. You get to the heart of the matter immediately. That's what being direct is all about. Okay, so in France and Sweden, they don't beat around the bush. They speak honestly, frankly, directly. So a quick sorry, oh, I'm sorry, plus a short, honest explanation is enough. That will do. That will suffice. Yes, by the way, when you make an explanation, you explain yourself. You tell people why you did something. You tell people the reasons why you did something.
Okay, but in Britain, however, you know, England, Scotland, Wales, places like that, where people apologize for the most trivial of things, a real apology requires many repetitions, often with several emphatic adjectives to show how much you mean it. I wasn't aware of this of British people, but I guess they do apologize for lots and lots of things, and they even apologize for trivial things, things that are not important. Oh, I'm sorry I stepped in front of you there. I'm sorry I made a loud burping sound at the table there. To me, that's very trivial. I like to hear people burp and stuff like that. It's nothing to apologize for. But they apologize for trivial things. And, of course, you got to do it over and over. I'm so sorry I did that yesterday. Oh, I'm so sorry I did that 2 days ago. Oh, I'm so sorry I did that last week. You got to keep saying it ad infinitum.
There you go. You have the repetitions down. Don't forget the emphatic adjectives, though. I'm so sorry. I'm desperately sorry. Oh, my
terribly
goodness.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm terribly sorry.
Absolutely sorry.
Oh, my God.
Sincerely apologize. I'm awfully sorry.
And it just goes on and on and on, apparently. By the way, people also say this about Americans. They say sorry. Like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. They say it all day long, so it no longer really means anything. That's what people apparently in places like France and Sweden believe about Americans and the Brits. Okay, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't worry, don't fret. The Chinese teacher is waiting in the wings.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分一开始提到 In many countries, for example, it is important that your apology happen face to face. Apologizing by email or a messaging app will be considered both lazy and rude. 举例来说，在很多国家当面道歉是很重要的，用电子邮件或是通讯应用程式道歉会被视为懒惰又无礼。好，这边有两个重点。第一个是课文用到 It is important that your apology happen face to face. 同学们有没有注意到 that 子句里面的主词 your apology明明是单数啊，为什么后面不是接单数动词 happens， 而是接原形动词 happen？ 好，其实 happen 的前面它是省略了 should。当我们要用 it is important加上 that 子句用来表达什么什么是很重要的时候，如果这个 that 子句它带有告诫命令的语气，这个 that 子句里面要用 should 加原形动词，所以句型会写作 It is important that主词 should 原形动词。不过 should 可以省略不用，只保留后方的原形动词。好，那像这样的句型呢，是用来表达 that 子句所描述的事情它的重要性或是必要性，希望对方可以按照所说的来做。好，那句子里面的 important 你也可以换成其他形容词，像是 crucial, essential, necessary, vital 等等。例如It is crucial that the project be completed on schedule. 这个专案照计划准时完成是非常重要的。好，那么第二个重点是课文里面用到 be considered both lazy and rude， 意思是被视为懒惰又无礼。那我们这边就来学动词 consider 表示认为的用法。第一种是主动用法，它的句型是 consider 某人或某事物to be 再加上名词或形容词，其中的 to be 也可以省略不用，这表示把某人或某事物当作是什么，认为某人或某事物是怎么样的。例如 They consider him to be a liar， 也可以说 They consider him a liar， 他们认为他是个骗子。好，第二个是被动用法，那它的句型是某人或某事物be considered to be 加上名词或形容词， 其中的 to be 也可以省略不用，这表示说某人或某事被当作什么，某人或某事被认为是怎么样怎么样的。例如 The criminal is considered to be dangerous， 也可以说 The criminal is considered dangerous， 那名罪犯被认为是很危险的。好，以上是这些重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Apology. I'm sorry, I can't accept your apology unless you are willing to change your behavior. Digital. Everything is digital these days, but I still prefer my old alarm clock. Communicate. Adam prefers to communicate face-to-face because using text feels too impersonal. Scorn. Tyler scorns anyone who only thinks of themselves. Explanation. What do you mean? Your explanation wasn't very clear. Repetition. Repetition is the only way to get better at some skills.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.